Once upon a time, in a peaceful village surrounded by green hills and flowing rivers, there lived a young girl named Lily. Lily was kind-hearted and curious, always eager to learn new things and help those in need. She lived with her grandmother in a small, cozy cottage on the edge of the forest. Every morning, Lily would wake up early to help her grandmother gather berries and fetch water from the well. One sunny morning, as Lily was picking wildflowers near the edge of the forest, she heard a soft cry coming from behind a bush. She gently moved the branches aside and found a tiny, injured bird with bright blue feathers. The bird looked up at Lily with pleading eyes. Without hesitation, Lily picked up the bird and carried it home, carefully wrapping it in a soft cloth. Lily's grandmother smiled as she watched her granddaughter care for the little bird. Together, they made a warm nest for it and gave it some water and seeds. Every day, Lily looked after the bird, talking to it and singing gentle songs. Slowly, the bird's strength returned, and soon it was chirping happily and fluttering its wings. One evening, as the sun set and painted the sky with shades of orange and purple, the bird suddenly spoke to Lily in a soft, magical voice. "Thank you, kind Lily, for saving me. I am not an ordinary bird. I am a fairy in disguise. Because you have shown me kindness, I will grant you one wish." Lily's eyes grew wide with surprise. She thought for a moment, then said, "I wish for everyone in our village to have enough food and happiness, so that no one is ever hungry or sad again." The fairy bird nodded, and with a twinkle in its eye, it flew up into the sky, leaving behind a trail of sparkling dust. The next morning, something amazing happened. The gardens in the village were filled with ripe fruits and vegetables. The trees were heavy with apples and pears, and golden wheat grew tall in the fields. Everyone in the village had enough to eat, and laughter echoed through the streets. People shared their food and stories, and the village became known as the happiest place in the land. Lily became a hero in the eyes of the villagers, but she remained humble and continued to help her grandmother and neighbors every day. She never told anyone about the fairy bird, keeping it as a special secret in her heart. As the years passed, the village grew even more beautiful. Flowers bloomed in every garden, and children played under the shade of big oak trees. Travelers who passed through the village always remarked on the kindness and joy they found there. They would ask the villagers, "What is the secret to your happiness?" The villagers would smile and say, "We care for each other, and we never forget to be kind." One spring day, as Lily was walking through the meadow, she saw a group of children gathered around something small and frightened. It was a little rabbit caught in a trap. Remembering the fairy bird, Lily quickly helped free the rabbit and made sure it was safe. The children watched and learned from Lily's example, understanding the importance of helping those in need. Word of Lily's kindness spread far and wide, and soon people from other villages came to learn from her and her friends. They wanted to know how to create a place as warm and joyful as Lily's village. Lily always told them the same thing: happiness grows when you share it with others. A small act of kindness can change the world. Many years later, when Lily grew old and her hair turned silver, she would sit by the fire and tell stories to the children of the village. She told them about the magical bird, the wish she made, and how their village became a place of happiness and friendship. The children listened with wide eyes, promising to always be kind and helpful, just like Lily. And so, the spirit of kindness lived on in the village for many generations. The people never forgot the lesson Lily had taught them, that even the smallest act of kindness can make a big difference. The village remained a place of joy and peace, where everyone looked out for one another, and where fairy tales could come true. And if you ever visit that village, you might see a flash of blue feathers in the trees, or hear a gentle song on the breeze. Who knows? Perhaps the fairy bird is still watching over the village, making sure that kindness and happiness continue to bloom. So remember, no matter where you live or how small you feel, your kindness can light up the world. Just like Lily, you have the power to make every day a little more magical for the people around you. And maybe, just maybe, you will find a bit of fairy dust in your own life when you least expect it. From that day forward, Lily's story was told by parents to their children, by teachers to their students, and by friends sitting together under the stars. It became more than just a fairy tale. It became a way of life, showing everyone that love, kindness, and a caring heart are the greatest magic of all. And so, the little village by the forest lived happily ever after, never forgetting the lesson of the fairy tale, that happiness and kindness are gifts we can give to each other every single day.